Hey Dancerians, welcome back to my channel. So today I have plenty of sharks to show you guys, okay, as well as some sea animals. At the same time, I'll be showing you guys some facts cards of the different sea animals right over here, okay. They are really cool, so let's get right into it. Okay guys, so let's begin. Let's take a look at the first one right here, which is the saw shark, okay, right over here. So let's take a look at what is written right here. The saw shark is perhaps the easiest to recognize. Okay, where is our saw shark? I think it's right over here. Okay, this is the saw shark right over here. Its long saw-like snout gives them away instantly. That is of course used for hunting. Quick shades of the snout from side to side cut the prey to be swallowed easily. So they basically swing the body, the saw tool, side to side, and it will easily cut, the prey into little pieces. That is super awesome. Let's take a look at more facts about this. So average size is about 1.5 meters. Mystery 5. What does that mean? Incident 0, predator power only 1. Okay, so that is some really cool facts about the saw shark. They are born with folded teeth not to hurt the mother at birth. Wow, that's really cool. So when they're born, the teeth are actually folded downwards so that it would actually not hurt their mother. So that is really cool. Okay, let's put this right over here. All the used facts cards, I'm going to be putting them on the left hand side. Next, let's take a look at this. We have the tiger shark. Where's our tiger shark figure? I think it's right over here. So let's take a look at this. Tiger sharks are the second most dangerous of all sharks after the great white. They like to hang out in tropical and subtropical climates and usually very close to the surface. They are relatively easy to spot. They are usually hungry, so beware. Oh my goodness. So they are the second most dangerous sharks out there. And the average size is about 3.5 meters long. Their amazing eyesight allows them to hunt at night. So that is really cool. Okay, let me put this right over here and let's take a look at our next shark, which is the whale shark. Okay, where is our whale shark figure? Right over here. So let's take a look at this. Whale sharks are the biggest species of fish in the world. Fortunately for us, they are very peaceful and feed only on tiny prey, filtering water through their wide mouths. Despite their names, though, they aren't whales. They are definitely not whales. They are a kind of sharks. So the average size is about 14 meters, which is very long. So they are actually very docile. They are not dangerous at all. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. Let's take a look at this. Zebra. Okay, zebra shark. Let's take a look at the zebra shark. Okay, so here's our figure. You may have come across a zebra shark, also known as a leopard shark, at some point. Since many aquariums have them in captivity, they change their appearance over a lifetime, striped when young and more spotted towards adulthood. Oh, that is why it is known as a zebra shark at first, and later on a leopard shark. So which is why we have some figures that actually has stripes, but it is actually named like a zebra shark. So I guess zebra sharks can be found to have like spots as well as stripes. Due to their size, they are also prey to many sharks. They are quite small size. Okay, all right, let's move on and take a look at our next one, which is the Thresher Shock. This is also very easily recognizable, okay, just by the long tail right over here. So this is our Thresher Shock figure. So let's take a look at this. The size is about 4.8 meters long. The most identifiable trait of a Thresher Shock is its tail, which can grow up to half the shark's body length. You can see it is so long. I think for this one is actually like more than half of the body size. Okay, with a upper long lobe and a short lower lobe, it is used as a whip to stun their prey and makes a great hunting tool. So they basically use the tail to whip out at the prey by stunning them like this. Wow, that is super awesome. And it is roughly about 4.8 meters long. Okay, let's move on and take a look at the other shark. The next one is actually a white tip reef shark. So you can actually find the sharks with white tips. Where is it? It's actually right over here, so you can see it is actually quite a small shark. So the average size is actually only 2 meters. The white tip reef shark is probably the most common type of shark found by divers in tropical reefs. Okay, the name comes of course from the white tips on the first and sometimes on the second dorsal fin. Okay, nice, as well as the tail lobes. So basically right over here, sometimes on the first and sometimes on the it's always on the first, sometimes on the second one. Okay, very nice. So yeah, it's a pretty small shark, just only 2 meters long. Okay, let's move this away and take a look at another one. Okay, what do we have right here? We have a Wobbegang shark. Okay, where's our Wobbegang? It's actually right over here. So you can see the colors actually look very similar, but you know, this one looks different to me. So the average size is about 3 meters. Wobbegang sharks are also known as carpet sharks since they are bottom-dwelling sharks. They lay motionless and the colored skin patterns are a handy camouflage to snap their prey from below. So they basically stay motionless on the ocean seafloor, disguise themselves like rocks, and once they are near the prey, they will just snap out at them and eat them. Very, very cool. So the average size is only about 3 meters. Alright, let's move on. The next one that we have is actually a nurse shark right here. Okay, so let's try to find our nurse shark, which is sitting right over here. So you guys can see it has two very distinctive, like, you know, fang-like structures. So let's read this together. Nurse sharks are common in the Caribbean and they are very calm and peaceful, attacking only if treated with violence. They can also be found around the Eastern Pacific, Western Atlantic, and tropical West Africa. Unlike most sharks, they can rest motionless if needed. Wow. Because some sharks, they actually need to keep swimming, otherwise they will die. Okay, so the average size of the nurse shark is about 3 meters long. Let's move on to our next one. How about the Manta Ray? Okay, Manta Ray, we have a figure right here. So the Manta Ray are actually a close relative of all sharks and rays, who despite the enormous size prey on the tiniest animals, mainly zooplankton. Essentially, they are horizontally flattened fish with thin tails and horn-shaped fins near their mouth. Average size is about 9 meters. Wow, they are pretty big. Yes, I've actually seen them in my local sea aquarium, and I must say they look very impressive. When they swim, they actually move their body like in a curvy manner, so that is very, very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at our next fact card. We have the Megamouth Shock. This is actually a very, very rare shark. Where is our Megamouth Shock? It's right over here, so let's do a quick comparison. You can see the face looks very similar to the photo. Average size is about 4 meters. There isn't any info on how they interact with humans because they're actually super rare. The Megamouth is considered one of the rarest species of sharks, and it really honors its name with a bit of characteristic look, which means that it looks very, very scary. Okay, much mystery surrounds this species since it was discovered by sheer chance in 1976. So it's actually very, very hard to find them, very hard to spot them. Okay, so the Megamouth Shock is right over here. Next up, let's take a look at this. We have the Bullshock. Okay, let's take a look at our Bullshock figure. Where is it? I think this is the one. Okay, so take a look at this. Bullshocks look pretty scary and are actually quite treacherous. With the 300 kilograms of muscle, they are among the species with the most registered attacks, and their sharp triangular teeth can serrate flesh with ease. Oh my goodness, yes, there are actually the most records of bullsharks attacks on humans than great whites. So they are average size is about 3 meters long. Bullsharks can be found in both seawater and freshwater. Okay, so it's actually quite dangerous. You can see there are like 100 incidents recorded, which is very, very scary. 100 attacks recorded. Next up, let's take a look at the Bullshock. Okay, let's try to find a Bullshock figure first. This is the one which is very obvious. So you can see it actually looks very similar to the picture. Okay, so the average size is about 3.5 meters. Female Bullshock skin is much thicker than the males. Although they can be found worldwide, Bullshocks are not as common these days due to excessive fishing. They are potentially dangerous, but only if they feel threatened or very hungry. In any case, try not to find out if you see one. Yeah, I mean, they can be dangerous. I mean, after all, there are 13 incidents recorded. Okay, so they're quite dangerous in some ways as well. Let's take a look at another one. Megalodon, okay, which is the biggest one. So we do have a Megalodon figure. So let's use this as a Megalodon. Okay, so Megalodon, average size is about 19 meters. Megalodons had whales for breakfast, literally. Okay, if you can picture a ferocious shark the size of a double-decker buses, then you know how big Megalodons were. They lived from the middle Miocene, approximately 16 million years ago, to the Pliocene, approximately 2.6 million years ago. Wow. So these are basically like prehistoric sharks, and they are super big, like a bars, the size of a bars. Okay, which is like probably about 10 times, maybe like 6 to 10 times of a great white shark. Next, we have a Mako Shark. Okay, so the average size of a Mako Shark is 4 meters long. So let's try to find our Mako Shark figure. It is actually right here. Mako Shark, you can see it actually looks very similar to the image. Makos are one of the most adaptable and resilient species of sharks, which led them to sprawl out all over the world. Stay away from them because they are also the fastest shark, being able to swim quicker than you could ever run, 74 kilometers per hour, and they are prone to aggressive behavior. 18 incidents have been recorded. Okay, so average size 4 meters. Very scary shark, and they are able to swim really fast. Next, let's take a look at the lemon shark, shall we? Lemon shark. Like most tourists, lemon sharks like warm and shallow waters. Okay, let's try to find the lemon shark. You can actually easily recognize it. Okay, so it's actually right over here. The name, of course, comes from the yellowish color. Okay, back to this portion. You shouldn't expect to come across one of them. Only occasionally they migrate to West Africa. Nice, very nice. Of course, you know, the name actually comes from the skin color. Average size is about 3.5, 22 incidents recorded, so there's actually quite a lot as well. Let's take a look at the great white shark. Let's try to find our great white shark figure. I think this is the one. So average size is about 4.3 meters long, which is very big, with 3,000 sharp teeth at any one time and a bit of temper. The great white shark is the monster of choice for any aquatic terror movie. Although they are less ferocious in real life, they are such perfect predators that evolution kept them virtually unchanged for millions of years. So they are basically still the same, you know, even after millions of years. So that is the great white shark. 4.3. Yeah, when it comes to the size, no one knows the lifespan of the great white shark. Wow, okay, I didn't know that. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the fruit shark. I'm really interested to know facts about this shark right over here. So let's try to find our fruit shark figure. This is actually the one that we have. Okay, so average size is about 2 meters. The fruit shark doesn't need to brush its 300 teeth every night. Okay, I mean, that's a joke, I think. The fruit shark is a living fossil, reminiscent of prehistoric times. It has changed very little since then and looks a bit like an eel. Its 25 rows of needle-like teeth, however, need not frighten you. This shark lives in very deep waters where most of us never venture. So it is it can only be found like really deep, just like the Megamouth Shock. Okay, we have 4 more sharks to cover. So let's take a look at this one. We have the sand tiger shark. We have a figure which is sitting right here. So let's take a look at what's written right here. Not only are they harmless, they are very shy too. Average size 3 meters long. The sand tiger shark is also known as the ragged tooth shark in Africa and the grey-nose shark in Australia. For some time, these sharks have been cute because of their threatening appearance, though they are actually quite harmless. Yes, I mean, if you take a look at the face, they actually look quite scary, but they are actually very shy. I mean, the teeth makes them look, really scary, for sure. Next, let's take a look at the Hammerhead Shark. Where's our Hammerhead Shark figure? Right here. Okay, so the average size of a Hammerhead Shark is about 5 meters. Hammerheads migrate in summer in search of cooler waters. You can laugh at its looks, but the Hammerhead Shark's head is carved in tiny, special sensors that help them detect electric fields in the water to locate prey. This means they use their head as a metal detector to locate their favorite meal, which is the stingrays. Wow, okay, that's really cool. So their head is like a metal detector. Very awesome fact right over there. Next, we have a basking shark. Where's our basking shark figure? I mean, you guys can actually see it is actually sitting right here. Wow, it looks exactly like this figure. Average size 8 meters long. Okay, 0 incidents recorded because it is actually quite a docile shark. The basking shark is the second largest living fish. Wow, okay. Straight out of a nightmare, this is how that's how the basking shark looks. However, this huge shark is nothing to worry about since it feeds only on small animals. As it strolls along its extremely big mouth, as it strolls along with its extremely big mouth wide open. So yeah, they don't attack humans for sure. That is for sure. And our last shark of the day is actually a blacktip reef shark, which is sitting right here. So let's take a look at this. Average size 2 meters long. Blacktip reef sharks love to hang out in shallow lagoons and the coral reefs of the tropical Pacific and Indian Oceans. They aren't aggressive, but beware of them, just in case they think your legs are a pair of fish. Okay, so you have to be really careful. Okay, they don't attack humans, but don't let them mistake that your legs are a fish. Average size 2 meters. Incidents recorded 11 incidents. So yeah, so this is basically all the sharks that I've mentioned to you today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, let me know whether you guys love to read facts from all these cards. I also have some sea animals cards. So yeah, stay tuned for this video. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, thanks for watching this, and goodbye.